Here on the programme, every element of that report was genuinely horrifying. Why do you think now it is so catastrophic in Afghanistan?
Well, Matthew, yes, distressing, depressing, and for me as an Afghan, of course, I am shocked, but I'm really not surprised because we have been hearing for the past year or two at least about the dire condition of people in Afghanistan, of men, women, children. So this is one case, and I'm glad BBC was able to get this story out, of more than 3 million children facing malnourishment and death, imminent death. So this is very shocking, but we need to look at the big picture, and then we need to look at what needs to be done under today's conditions, knowing that governance is not as we would like it to be, knowing that Afghanistan is cut off from the international community, that 3 years on, we have all types of economic issues, social issues, edicts, and so on and so forth. So it's a very unique case, and it needs solutions that, in my opinion, need to be sort of outside the box and not inside the box, taking advantage of whatever opportunities exist to reach communities that are threatened today in Afghanistan, especially women and children.
Yes, you put your fingers on two really critical bits in terms of the backdrop. You talked about needing to look at the big picture. You talked about dealing with the situation under today's conditions, because, of course, since the Taliban took over, there are Western sanctions. So how do you improve everything we saw in that report, or even some of it, within all of that? You talked about thinking outside of the box. What are the sorts of things that come to your mind that could see progress then in Afghanistan within all of the backdrop conditions?
Well, given all of Afghanistan's shortcomings and weaknesses in terms of internal dynamics, the international community needs to focus on a few things. Number one, there is a shortage of funding. So the donors, obviously, because of other priorities around the world and maybe some level of fatigue with Afghanistan. Remember, Afghanistan is a country that was receiving close to $350 million a day in its war effort, in its rebuilding effort, in its state building effort for almost 20 years. So more than $2 trillion have already been spent in Afghanistan prior to the collapse of the regime. And look at what the result is. I mean, so there are big questions about how we manage country and state and nation building in such conditions, and how we deal with conflict, and how we need to end conflict when we need to. But anyway, today we need to think outside the box, meaning we need to look at the funding streams. We need to make sure that the NGOs are able to do their work. We need to make sure the Taliban are engaged at a level where not that they would benefit from this, but that they would facilitate and enable organizations on the ground, including hospitals and clinics, doctors, nurses, to be able to work. And this is where the issue of women comes in.
Yes.
Women need to work in order to be able to access children as doctors, as nurses, as professionals, and women and others. So, you have a very complicated situation. But I think that through engagement and through targeted funding, we can address this problem and find some solutions.
Omar Samad, we are grateful for your time. Thanks so much for speaking to us here at the BBC. Thank you.